All right, this is the at least fifth, if not eighth, Arcade Pit MAGFest. I'll figure out what year it actually is. It's got to be like eight. So we're in for a 90-minute-ish thing here. I usually forget to record the screen, and then it becomes very hard for me to edit a video for this. Thankfully, I don't really need to do that this time, but when I hit record here, we crashed, and that is the first big, maybe the only really big one, tech issue that happens. I had to reboot OBS, I had to reboot the whole PC, really. Which is why we went to Rock'em Sock'em Robots instead of what I wanted to do. But thankfully, it only took me a few minutes to fix that up. I think it's already crashed. I'm noticing that I have like a contingency plan for all this crap, so I can pull numbers without OBS, and I'm doing that. It jams me up a little bit later when I pull the same number twice or something. I pull a number that's beyond the scope of the numbers we were supposed to pull, but that's because OBS crashing messed up my whole system. We have a full house there, though. You could see it there for a second on the screen. Like 80% of the room filled, not completely packed. Like they wouldn't deny you at the gate like some of the other panels I went to, but we had a pretty big crowd. 400 or 500 people. There's the voice of dog, our champion this year. I am gonna revive some design considerations for this show panel because we always seem to have a player who's unstoppable. And that means less people coming up, unfortunately. Usually we have more like 12 people. Even with a... I think the games are just longer this year, more than anything, but... Here's me trying to fix my mouse. Figuring out that the mouse itself is even worse than what I was doing. Giving up. Telling them, Rock'em Sock'em Robots. Let's do that. Don't worry about it. That seemed to fool everybody into thinking that things were working. I didn't actually see much of any of this. I let my co-host take over here almost completely while I fix my thing.
Everybody, please take your positions. The camera work for MAGFest this year, absolutely immaculate. Y'all are killing it. All right, I want a good, clean fight. I want it fair. Give the business. 3, 2, 1.
There were a few physical games that I brought that I didn't pull out. A couple that I brought before are like Bop It and a thing that's very similar to it. And those are whatever. I have like 3 or 4 more things that really kick ass that I just didn't do this year. I wonder if they'd give us 2 hours. They might want to do that next year. I'll check. Because the time really flew by on this panel. And there's not really a reason why we couldn't just go for another 30 minutes. Easy.
You love that click. It's time for the Quizzler.
Ty holding up the mic to the wheel and getting the click sounds actually working. This is the second year of having a physical wheel. I like it a lot.
The way this number works is you pick 2 different questions and you get a point for each one right. How does it work for a live show, though, Dwight?
Anyway, we're certainly back in business at this point. Animations are happening, the quiz board loaded, everything's working again. I don't have any serious problems after that first time. And yeah, Ty Tuesday was doing a bit where he's changing his shirt constantly to see if I'd notice. I only noticed once, and I thought he was overheating or something. Because he looked at me and said, it's hard to change shirts during this.
Which one would she like? Crystal fruit, pickles, battery pack, or duck feathers? I think she likes to text us, so...
I don't know what the hell he was doing that for.
Battery pack is correct! Voice of dog, you get a point, but you don't retain control of the board because that was just a one-person category. Kilograms, go ahead and give it a spin. Let's see what category we got for you today. Lovely sound. That's going into the battle. Once again,
I'm actually going to make some notes while I watch this. Quiz. Bonus. Get 2 in a row for the bonus. You have to get the first one for a point. If you get the second one, we'll give you a bonus. We need to have more bonuses, because I'm going to do something with the points, like actually do something with them. Currently, we're not really doing anything with them other than showing that Voice of Dog had more than everybody else combined. Anyway, UFO 50, getting the crowd to cheer. Audibly excited. From just the first notes of that song. Oh, I was trying to get Voice of Dog down with some games that are more RNG than anything else, but kept winning anyway. The bus fight game as an example. So I don't want to interrupt a crowd cheering Donkus. Peer pressure's a bitch because Donkus really is hard to play. He's got a fire uppercut that has to charge. He has aimable missiles. He's not easy. He's good, but I don't think he's a first pick for a new player. And they didn't listen to me when I explained the directions. I was talking about this on the ride home. Nobody ever listens to me when I give directions, historically on Arcade Pit anyway. You can just... You see it a couple times during this panel, they just don't listen to me. Especially during the tic-tac-toe game. Yeah, I don't know what the audio is for y'all. On stage it was very hard to hear. It's easier to hear from this point of view than probably up front where we are. Hey, Killer Cactus. Well, the big mistake that's happening here, I guess, aside from Donkus being impossibly hard to figure out, is the need to collect the rings. UFO 50 is, like, not very good about telling you the rules anyway. It wouldn't surprise me if Voice of Dog has played this before. I used Nidhogg once, and one of the players knew exactly what to do, and the other one was crushing it.
That is, of course, going to be the game wall.
I have 6 games for you.
It is time for the game wall. Very distinct from any other category. There are going to be 6 video games, and they are just going to be worth 1 point apiece. Pick one, play the game, win this challenge, and you get a point.
They also have a bonus that is ridiculous. If you can do it, you get 2 points. Tetris.
I think that I'm a bad announcer on things like how to play these games, and I need to
Sonic 2.
wait for a better opportunity to tell them the controls and to do it in a more limited way. I already try to limit the information, at least for these games. It's on screen the entire time on the DS. Like, it's gonna show up on the right there, so I'm pretty happy with that. That's not what's going on in the team battles, though, usually, especially the full screen ones. But even later on, well, I'll get to it when I get there. But I gave some directions for the final battle. It took them a while to hear me. I just throw them out there until they hear it. But there's so much reverb and echo and stuff in the room, especially on stage, that I really depended on my co-host to like get people's names translated to me so I could type them in, because I wanted to do that this year. I didn't want just the numbers. I think it would work pretty well.
Finish with 50 rings for the bonus.
All the players were cool.
Or smash it immediately, half at a time with
Their socials were linked somewhere. Yeah, I don't have any audio control other than just volume of everything. I don't have any mic control. I don't have any camera control. That's entirely MAGFest staff. Well, while Voice of Dog runs through Casino Zone, I'll tell you how this panel runs, since I haven't done that yet. We draw a player, and we draw another player, because this is a one-on-one show. They both come up, and immediately, every time there's a new player, including right at the start, we do a team battle. And the winner gets to go, and the loser loses a heart. They each have 3 hearts. Once they've lost 3 things, they're out. They get 1 point for winning. Sometimes they get 2 if they do something bonusy. I'm trying to make more bonuses available. We're going to do something with the points in terms of, like, earning extra prizes and getting them off the stage once they hit like 5 or 6. Probably they'll be officially a winner at that point, and we'll kick them out. Probably. That's probably the way to do it. I'm gonna do something like that. I'll just have like a grab bag of prizes for people who get that many points. But everyone who comes up is gonna get something. I can print out some more art and stuff really easily. If you're interested in seeing this show live and you missed MAGFest, or if you want to see it again, almost certainly we will be at PGX in October. If you feel like coming all the way up to Pittsburgh. We could use a bigger crowd. Pittsburgh's it's growing, but it's a 10th of MAGFest size, I would say. And our panel, even front listed, probably got like 40 people. I don't know which weekend it is, but this last year, it was October 3rd. I would expect it's the same, or around the same time. I've never been to PAX. I think I tried to get invited to a couple of things once. I looked into TwitchCon. I would be willing to if people were willing to have me as a panel, probably.
Give it a spin, let's see what the wheel has to say.
If you're interested in making me goofy snail art, I would love to have some kind of exclusive prizes. Prizes are always a challenge. I've handed out 3D printed cartridges in the past and stuff. Worked with some artists. This year I printed out literally hundreds of pieces of art and gave them out to everybody.
Are you ready?
Quizzler Blitz, I like the rules here.
Don't catch the chocobos. Giant
The bonus might be a little much, getting all 5. Maybe I should change it to 3 and just give me 4 for the bonus. 5 is kind of ridiculous. But they need 3 points here to win.
What sort of creatures do you eat in this game? Wolves, ghosts, insects, or birds?
Insects. Insects it is.
Inscription, what's the player's first name?
Luke, John, Virgil, or Sam? Luke.
Luke is correct.
Luke is correct. That's 1 point. Go for 2. What happened to Metro?
These events have been tailored to live, but mostly, especially the trivia, works the same way.
Couple seconds remain. We have B and escape. Unfortunately, Ridley stolen.
Definitely making notes about how hard the challenges were. All of the players should have been playing on the TV that's behind them here. I completely forgot about that in all of the tech issues we were having, but they set up a monitor for me, and I even brought my own so that the players could have no latency. I think they were dealing with projector latency, making all of the challenges harder to play. But I'm not sure. Last year it was really bad, but nobody complained about it this year. And we eventually got them to switch to that monitor like halfway through, a little bit more than halfway through. I need to tone down the challenges though. I would prefer the content on the live show be easier. And the challenges are the part that seems a little out there. Oh, I spend way too much time on the content for this. I spend a lot of time, money, and effort into the live panel. Like, I buy all these games for it. I bring all this hardware. And usually, before MAGFest, I spend 40 hours working on the content, and then when I get it to MAGFest, I spend another 20 making sure it's still working. We have a lot of issues sometimes with weird... Like, one year, the internet at the hotel was on, and I didn't realize it. And the Quizzler was using it. For some reason, it was connecting online to a database that it didn't really need to connect to. When we went live without the internet, it decided that it wouldn't work at all. We had no trivia, and Drastic Actions ran up, fixed it, gave me a hug, and ran back to the crowd. That was the best live programming fix. I actually made Perfection harder. We used to give them 5 pieces for free. I noticed that people were winning it like half the time. It's just a little bit more than I expected. Twisted Dog crushing it anyway. There's a lot of people here who had never seen my show before. There always is. I want them to have a good time and not need to know what it's about to pick it up. Yeah, Ty always has brought an energy that I just don't have. Okay, I think I actually do have it, but not like this, and not on demand. Well, it's more that Perfection is supposed to be a hard challenge. It's supposed to be a bad news challenge. People struggled with it so much that we started giving them free pieces.
Go ahead and give it another spin at the wheel. I believe. Mike, what sort of feeling sad challenge do we have for them today?
We have this cool game about spinning.
Have you ever heard of roundabout? It's like roundabout.
This is the game I'm gonna do tonight. Real sicko game, and I really do feel like
Exactly what I meant. I'm so sorry.
if there was projector lag, boy howdy, I don't know that this is even possible. So real cursed thing happening here, unfortunately. The other feeling sad challenges might be worse though, in terms of what I would want to deal with. One of them is the Mario Shuffler. It's like a hey, can you clear any stage of Mario while we're shuffling every 5 seconds?
The Y and B button, if you hold them, you'll go faster. If you hold them both, you'll go way faster.
Junkie Ball's in there, I think. And then there's another game or two, I can't remember which. There is enough content here that it's random. So what I do is I just replace the ones that got hit, and I still have this pile of content. There were a couple new ideas this time. We haven't run into them yet, but we will.
Unfortunately, it is not big enough to manage to get without making it one of those little spots.
We probably need some chairs for the players, right? Like, I'll make a note about that next time. We should pull out some chairs. Because all the chairs in front are taken. Like, we should just have 2 chairs up there. So they can chill. They don't need to be on their feet for 20 minutes. But, hopefully nobody will be up there for 20 minutes in the future anyway.
The snake is an absolute devastating. Bouncing in the wrong way. Free throw in.
But yeah, if there is latency on this, I encourage you to play it without it and see if that is why it's maybe harder than I mean, this game isn't easy, but that would make it ridiculous if there is, because it's a precision game. Give the easy mode a run too, because the we did it last night. The size of the bar is half in easy mode, and it is an interesting way to learn it.
The moment you win one stage, that confidence just comes rolling in. You're in the flow. You're in the flow. You got it. Slow and steady despite the fact you only have 30 seconds left. There you go. A little bit faster. Unfortunate. You can hold down the button to speed up.
None of the panels in Toss Across lock. They snap in loosely into 3 positions. The goal of Toss Across is to take your opponent's wins and turn them into their loss. And some shenanigans happen in Toss Across, but it doesn't really matter. At least not to me. Who wins or loses at the end of the day, I'm just here to make sure everybody gets to play and stuff. But I don't think that the winner is the one who won. It's fine. I was confused.
Our next contestant, number 230.
The rules of Toss Across aren't very clear, maybe. I tried to say them out loud, but
All right, what's your name or handle if you want to say that? Swing. Got it. Swing.
When a new player comes up, we do a team battle, so I'll set one up.
So we are going to be having you and the Wisconsin compete. You need to
yeah, that was Killer Cactus, right? And the, I think, White Mage cosplay, is that what that is?
Bugsy will never win.
Or maybe it's Dragon Quest. I'm not sure.
My life. But we need to make things a bit more difficult for the incumbent champion here.
This is Squint.
The other way around. Regardless, we have 3 games for you to pick from. You get to pick whatever you're best at if you think you can beat this man.
Yeah, because Ryuta came up here and got 12 points one time. I thought
Oh, I'm not familiar with that. I need to run through the Dragon Quests on my RPG adventure. I've not played any of them really.
Sunset Riders for you.
The only Dragon's Quest I've played is Dragon Warrior. Like, it doesn't even have the brand yet. Okay, new feature. And like I said, designed to take down the person who's winning too much. The person who comes up gets to pick between 3 games. Hopefully something they're good at. They might have got a fast one pulled on them here though, because this is the Genesis version of Sunset Riders. The versus mode that nobody knows about because it's bad. I think it's good for this though. But they had a lot of trouble based on their movement and stuff. If they're familiar with Sunset Riders, it seems like they weren't getting it as well as you would expect. One thing about this is that it looks like Cormano's better than Billy, and maybe aesthetically he is, but functionally the bullets are the same. They're exactly the same, despite what they look like. Because this is a live panel, I have the ability to do one-on-ones, like, in actuality. Not some kind of rigged up internet thing, but they actually are playing. So I have the option to use whatever the funnest and most entertaining games I can find are. I like to pick weird stuff. Not just, I could do like Street Fighter and stuff. That's a popular choice, and it's something I couldn't do online. But I have a bunch of weird fighters I choose instead. I don't know what you mean, Electro.
Mystery games again. You're in for another physical treat.
I think it's us or time now.
It's time for the dinosaur battle. This is going to involve both.
All right, give you a history lesson on this Hell Barrel. There are like 30 swords you can put into this thing. And last time we thought it might be broken because it popped on sword 28. We were just worried it wasn't going to work and something was wrong with it last year. So let's see what happens this time.
Have you ever played a game about a gator chomping down on the gator for the rest of our two? Same vibe. Or better yet, we're all gamers here. This is Bowser's Big Blast. But there's like 20 of them. All right, so
I've never had the opportunity to work with anybody with my show.
boys, let's go first. You stick in one bone at a time, and one of these bones is going to be the last. So get to it.
I probably would consider it. Anyway, the opposite of if I didn't tell Voice Dog to go first, he would have been cooked. Actually, I'm not sure. I'm not sure how the mechanics work. Maybe it just picked that place where that guy put that sword, and he would have lost on the first draw. I'm not even sure if it's the number or if it's the position that makes it happen. I don't know mechanically how it actually works.
I don't know. This seems to be going wild tonight. The only one on fire, though, seems to be the voice of God. We need to put it out. And with that, it's another team battle. We're going to give you a selection of games, and we're going to play them versus the voice of God. Or we're just going to pick one of the two. We'll see.
I don't think it's the same position every time either, right? Like it changes.
Devastating.
Hopefully. I don't know. Not that anybody would remember that. Anyway, I am picking challenges for the team battles, so I have 2 sets of team battles. I have the one where they roll it on the wheel, and I have the one where they come up to play. This is a very team battle focused panel. I think it happens maybe a little bit more than I want it to, honestly. But I don't hate it that it's doing that, because both players get to play more that way. I just want to make sure we hit all the content. This year we randomly just happened to, but sometimes I have to control it. I think I need another host choice up there.
Here are your characters. Obviously, you have Toad, Long Yoshi, Koopa, Bowser, Donkey Kong Jr., and Daisy.
I mean, this is the raw footage that we recorded. The VOD that MAGFest streamed, because of copyright reasons and stuff with some of the other panels they do, they don't keep VODs, it's my understanding. Author Blues co-streamed it, so it's on his channel history if you want to see it. They'll eventually put it on MAGFest YouTube, though. Anyway, I know what's happening here. That's why I'm giggling like an idiot. But High Tuesday doesn't. he's got the same problem that I have. Where I'm way too focused to see him changing shirts. He's too focused on being a gamer, a fighting game commentator, to see both frustrated players telling each other and the crowd holding up their controller and pointing at it while the dude's moving without them that AI mode is on. He didn't notice at all. And I'm just sitting there letting it happen for like 4 minutes instead of stopping it. I realized like 5 seconds into this that it was there. This guy's like trying to communicate. It's not. So I let the crowd enjoy this ridiculous AI battle. I can hear both of the players saying that they're not playing. It's very funny. And in the meantime, I'm picking a game that they can actually play. So what's going on here actually, and I forgot about it until like a couple seconds after I loaded it up and the players couldn't play, is that we hacked this game so badly that there's no single player or versus mode anymore at all. It's all AI. We completely removed inputs. It's just AI demo down the line, no matter what you choose. It's completely cooked.
Smite has a really cool show he does every week called AI Arena. It's everybody's favorite. Cardinal Sin.
Here's a much worse fighting game. I didn't know how to communicate to the players how to play Cardinal Sin, but it is like entirely designed around on the ground attacks. Like when they're on the floor, you jump attack them and you stab them for like a third of their life. Every character can do it. Some can do it better than others, but the entire meta of this stupid game revolves around that. And neither player was doing it, because how the hell would you figure that out? I tried to communicate it like for a second, but like I knew it was better to just shut up. It's impossible to tell them that. I think it's time to switch to the next piece of footage here. There we go. I was thinking about AI Arena for this panel a couple years ago, and I decided against it. We have 2 players up there. There's a lot of energy for them. They're happy to be up here. I would hate to throw somebody out because of pure AI. Like, it just doesn't seem as funny and good as it is online to do that. I don't think it fits. Anyway, way to dodge that fire. The other thing that the players are missing here, aside from no OTGs and no blocking, is there's a chest literally right there, and inside of that chest is either a full heal, double defense, or double damage. Because this game has no idea how to be. It's Cardinal Sin. They don't know what the hell this is yet, so yeah, that's what's in that chest. It's just like, you can't lose if you get whatever's in there, almost. It's like a smash orb. It's crazy. Thank you. Arcade Pit's always had a lot of supporters. By which I mean me having a Patreon and people subbing here and sending me money. Where I can devote unholy amounts of time into developing it and keeping it running.
We need him to kill this man. I need you to understand. This man needs to go down. Go ahead and spin that wheel. And once they're done,
When I have extra money, like, usually I spend it on making my show better instead of fun things.
for the crowdsourced game.
It's fun to me to buy. I just go to the. I just go to Target and look down the gaming aisle and see if there's any stupid toss across adjacent kind of things to pick up. Do it every time I go in there.
Again, it's day 3. My voice is good.
I buy the AI arena games that I think are good for it. I pay for art and music and stuff. There's Crowdsourced, another extremely popular crowd activity-based game that we can only do in front of a live audience. They sing it, and the players have to guess what it is.
3, 2, 1, go.
And they killed it. They did good work. I have to pick songs that most of the audience will know, you know, and be able to sing on the fly and try to sync up. We did Skyrim last year. They got it. I thought it would be really funny to hear them try to do it. It was pretty good.
What could it be? It's going to be another return to the quiz. Now that board doesn't reset, so you got 11 possible questions this time. Anything you're feeling confident about? Never mind, it totally resets.
That Kirby's very
Never
big.
mind. Pick a new one. I'm wrong. Disregard.
Kirby, please.
He said Kirby. Kirby. Kirby.
3 of these are Toho songs.
The trap question up on the board where you pick the easiest game there is, and nobody knows what is going on with it.
All the way back to the orchid, Eternal Spring Dream, Magician's Melancholy, and Desire Drive. So which one is the Kirby song? 3 of them are Toho.
I don't think it's B. Let's go for D, because that sounds most...
I would be suspicious on my quiz board of any game that sounds like something. I mean, I think even I, after playing Kirby like 3 times, would be able to answer most things about it. If you're talking like Kirby's Adventure. But this is Kirby as a franchise.
Spin that wheel, let's go! Hey crowd, it's time for you to help us out.
And I limit it to 2 here, crowd sources, but that we hit them both back to back, and then we didn't hit that tile again.
Audience, please give us
I was kind of worried that my wheel, as much as I love it, and it's heavy as hell, and hard to travel with, it's huge. I was worried that it might be weighted, like, it's hard to know the physics of something like that. Yeah, that's right, it's Zelda, folks. Anyway. We didn't hit so much variety last year. This year we did, so it seems like everything's fine with that. It's just bad luck. I limit it to 2 crowdsource though, and at that point, we just say that that's sound test now. We could switch out the tiles. We could Velcro them on and switch them out. We could do that. That was the idea. That's not currently the way it's set up though.
going to stay on stage. Whoever loses is going to sit down. Honestly, maybe the bigger gift after 3 days of a con. Your game today is going to be... It's not showing up on screen, but it is going to be footsie.
I strongly suspect that Boast the Dog was their projector lag. I strongly suspect that you would notice it during footsies, of all things, if there is.
One command and it's attack. You get to dodge first, you get to space, you get to hit. If you manage to get the
But anyway, our guest player there, Squint, seems extremely versed in footsies.
This is not actually happening. This is time playing.
I have a couple other digital games,
Let's start actually
a lot of indie games that are good for this. UFO 50 is kind of a goldmine though, because UFO 50 has 4 games that I think are good for this to pick up and play. Two oh. But wait.
Player 2, you just need a couple more of those. Oh, very clean combo, but that knee doesn't have much range on it. Can't just wait. You got one. The winner! The voice of dog! Despite the raging demon, can I hear your squeak of the demon? When you manage to land a raging demon on stage, I think that is like more than enough.
Yeah. Thanks
We're
for
gonna
playing.
get another competitor up here. Somebody needs to knock this man from his pedestal. 208! 208! Is it you? Stand up and come on up! Yeah! Come on up here! Come on down. We're gonna have some good team back. Keeping us memorabilia. Welcome to the stage. Welcome to
There are a lot of gamers in the crowd. I know most of the people who came up, I think. No Limit.
We're going back to the team choices. I'm going to give you another one. You have
We're gonna give you 3 games to pick from.
I wonder if anyone would actually pick Urban Champion.
If you're unfamiliar with Tetris Attack, it's Pokemon Puzzle League.
Let's go, Tetris attack.
Tetris Attack!
They picked caveman games, which I feel like is harder to grasp.
We are just giving you the head-to-head mode, and people are going to be competing by sending their opponents some real hot garbage. And you all are familiar with that if you're familiar with our show.
We don't get to see it this year. We saw it last year. Urban Champion has a ton of mods on it to make it the game that it should be, because I think it's a really solid. It pretty much is Nidhogg / footsies again. It's really good at its core, but it's got some systems in it that are stupid. Like at some point the cops drive by and randomly arrest one of the players for no reason on some bullshit timer. And there's a stamina meter where you just have like 10,000 stamina. When you run out of stamina, you start to really fall back fast. So we deleted most of the stamina and we removed the cops. So we have this Urban Champion A-Cab edition. And it's really good now. It's a game for this panel. It's really solid. I really like it a lot. You can fast punch to cancel the big punch. The big punch knocks you way back. You can hit up or down. You can block the light punches completely. You can soften the big punch if you block it. It's a really reactive game. You can dodge in it. I think it's a very neat thing, and I maybe we'll do some tournaments at next MAGFest. I feel like what I want to do at MAGFest more than I've seen MAGFest many times now. And I'm less interested in exploring the panels and the arcade than I used to be. I think I want to do more content there instead. I think I'll do some MAGFest, and I'm going to try to host some tournaments. I tried to set up a Quibble tournament, Quibble race, but I couldn't get it done in time. I didn't sign up before I got there. couldn't pull it off. I wanted to, though. I think that would be funny.
Oh, the garbage keeps stacking up, though. Dangerous. Dangerous. Oh, no! First point.
I got to play Scotto a ton.
This is a first
There were less ping pong balls in Scotto than I'm used to, so I couldn't get the same score I usually rock. But at 4 a.m., the arcade was completely empty. Pro tip if you go to MAGFest and you want to check out the arcade, at least one night, pull an all-nighter, come down there at 2, 3 a.m. You'll be able to play everything. The F-Zero AX cabinet, the Jurassic Park shooter that usually costs $1 per minute. All of those are free to play now, and you can play the pinball machines. Yeah, I walked past the F-Zero cabinet. It was empty. Turned my head like a cartoon character doing a and I jumped right in that shit. It was awesome.
As in, I need to defend, please. That right needs to get out of the top row. We're going to be able to clear anything.
Killer Queen being completely empty also. Unfortunate, actually, because you can't play without like 8 people. See, actually, if you want to play Killer Queen, probably should go there during normal hours. Hop in. But if you're looking to do DDR or any of those rhythm games that are always jammed up, they're all open. Everything is open. You can try them all.
Another team battle. Sure, why not? Give this man a chance to die, please. We need it. What's our team battle gonna be? Everybody needs a heel, and sometimes it gets to be the voice of dog. It's the bus game. It's the bus game. Game, Boykins, we know second.
There are some controls there, but
There are controls, but realistically, just don't fall off the bus.
you have one to rotate on that thing and come off the bus.
This game has incredibly aggressive ringouts, so you'll see.
The bus is the final stage of the map.
I'm extremely in, like I said earlier, get rid of the champion here mode. So I'm trying to pick games that Voice of Dog has 0 control over. Just no way that they can influence this at all. Like, maybe if somebody was like a Goiken Muyo 2 master, they could figure out how to walk around on the bus without falling off. You can rotate the camera. You're almost certainly going to fall off and die if you do it. But if you do it right, you can angle it so that they're facing the edge and you can kick them off. It can be done. There's control here for somebody who's played this 100 times. But there's like no way that a normal person would be able to do it, so of course I picked this to try and get some eliminations. I'm into a 5-point you're a winner kind of rule though. I think that's gonna be the ticket. 5 points is good. That's like you win a team battle and you get 2 wins of bonuses. We'll give you a prize bag and send you on your way, get a new player up at that point, I think. I think that's the way to go in the future. I'm just gonna have like everyone gets a prize at 1, 3, and 5 points. And we'll figure out something special to give. I have a plushie Snelzer that I don't want to give away at this event because half the people here don't know what that is. It feels it's too hard to make them. It feels like a big event reward for like an online thing.
Now we're going to need another competitor, so everybody check those numbers. We're going to need contestant number. Three, five, one. I don't think we went that high.
The bus has worked. The bus did its job. I have only been able to get into throwing controllers twice out of 5 times. One time, I was complaining about it on Twitter, just venting, not really complaining, that the room was too full and they wouldn't let me in. And some staff came down and let me in. They saw my tweet. But I didn't say that's not really my way. I just looked in there and I saw Slow Beef win. Of all things, he won the man, that kickball game with the Hello Kitty, I can't remember its name. But he won that against Proton John. The crowd was very amused. This wasn't meant to be a hoist. I didn't have a way at the hotel to quickly make a Tetris battle guide and image for the TV, so I just called it Tetris so that it wouldn't be like errored out and messed up looking. Yeah, I think John would probably let me in, but that's not really how these panels work. Like, Slowbeef had a panel that none of us could get into because it was completely loaded. It was in the wrong room for the crowd size. There was just so many more people there than anyone anticipated, and I hear they didn't even empty the room out. They just weren't ready for that crowd. So that's just the way these go. Anyway, Tetris Battle Gaiden is really interesting. I played a game called Tetranet in my youth when I was like 10. Dominated it. Really good competitive 6-player Tetris thing that was on like TCP/IP. Type in the server address and go there. It's an IRC channel with Tetris hooked up to it. It has powers like is in this game, and they let me defeat 5 people at once. Like, if you were good enough at it to be a good Tetris player and use those powers, you could destroy 5 people at once. And that's what this game's giving the players here. I feel like the player on the left is not anywhere near as versed in Tetris as the player on the right. But their power is so much easier to understand. I don't think it's as good as everyone thinks it is. It's hard to explain why, though. It's basically a power that levels the floor up for them to be like, you're gonna be at least this good, which is way above average. But I think that's as far as it takes you. I don't think it takes you further than that. The player on the right has some really interesting powers that they didn't understand. I looked them up. I don't think Slowbeef expected that kind of crowd either. Like, I didn't expect that kind of crowd. He told me his panel was coming up. I went out there like 10 minutes before it started. I saw a line rolling way back, like 500 feet wide. Just, man. So this is competitive Tetris. It's not just survival. The reason why I don't think you would ever beat me with the Moses power is it deletes your weaponry from you. It's purely defensive. You'll never hit me with a move that splits and deletes tiles from you. It's taking away... It's making you survive, sure, but it's taking away your ability to hurt me at all. And eventually, I'm gonna catch you. I'm gonna catch you without it, because you're just gonna use it and you cleared all your stuff. You're not always gonna have it available. I think that's the problem with it. It's not gonna work on somebody who won't die on their own to just mistakes. What Thwack does is when they clear lines, it does stuff to the other player. One of their powers, it fills holes in below. It does stuff based on them doing more things while the stuff is active, and they just weren't doing enough to make it like apparent what is actually happening. One of their powers stops the other player from being able to move quickly, and I think that is hell. That is actually really dangerous for if 2 really good players were playing. That's it. You're done. Like, that's way worse than a defensive move to me. That really sucks. Yeah, Thwack is like if they cleared a line on the left, all of the lines on the left would start getting cleared. All those holes on their field on the right, they would get cleared by that. But that didn't happen because they just didn't use it right. And how would they know? But they just got to do something while stuff's happening here. They're not really taking advantage of their weird power because they don't know what it does. We got dancing fellas. It's super hard to figure out. And the thing that just got casted there makes the piece spin randomly in this weird way. That's also really aggressive. There's some really busted stuff in this game. Moses is like, for this context, just two people who aren't necessarily really good at Tetris. Too strong. Like, boringly so. So probably we need to ban that character. I'm gonna write that down in case we use Tetris again. Tetris Battle Guide and no Moses. The worst thing a game can be on my show here is boring. I think Mario Kart is actually pretty boring. We have a 3 laps edition because of that. Dr. Mario, even worse. Like, just games people know that just aren't interesting. And Moses is really making this take forever. But yeah, splitting the middle in a game where your goal is to stack as high as you can and then turn it on the enemy, not great for anything but survival. I wouldn't want my pieces to be deleted. I want more pieces. The first thing I do in Tetris is stack as high as I can without dying, and then I convert all of that into energy, you know, pushed forward to the other players. So deleting tiles and stuff is not ideal for me. I wouldn't want that. But I can see why, obviously, why it's busted here. The other player died to just endurance. They just went down eventually.
Alright, which game would you like in your category?
Let's go Shovel Knight.
Shovel Knight! Shovel Knight!
Which knight wields the sword?
Take knight, Propeller Knight, or Treasure Knight?
Propeller Knight.
Propeller Knight!
That's a pretty easy question for somebody who knows Shovel Knight. But you do have to think about it, because it's kind of weird that none of the knights have swords. Best panel competition I've seen? You mean on my show? I mean, just during this night, Footsies and the Dino Barrel were both pretty interesting to me. And heck, the final battle in this actually was maybe the best. One of the best matches I've seen, and of the night, I think it was the best. I don't think the crowd has ever broken the rules. Nobody has ever yelled out the answer, really. I haven't had to do anything special to stop them.
I respect that a lot. Yeah. I have been informed by signs floating around that is apparently Mega Man Twitter now. Move fast, don't get hijacked by the weird insect robots. All you got is dash. Morph Mod, reach the boss gate. If you defeat the boss, you get an extra point. That's the stage. Just give it your best and go.
This Mega Man X2 challenge is like, boy howdy, for veterans, I guess, because I shouldn't write challenges for games I speedrun. But I feel like there's projector lag here too. I think that's really hurting them. I can tell by the way they're moving that they're gonna have trouble getting there in time. They made me feel like they only should be doing half the stage. I'm asking for the whole thing here. At this point, I would have already killed that mid boss that they're gonna get stuck on here. Because they, if you don't burn this guy down, he never dies. He just goes down, comes back up full health. The thing inside, the actual boss, doesn't heal. He takes 6 hits or something like that. But they just couldn't land the hits on him. The controllers are Bluetooth, both of them. They both work. I don't think there's input lag on those. I was talking about it with Author Blues during Speed Bump last night. A little known fact of hardware that really is interesting to me because it shouldn't be this way, but it is. If you plug in your Switch Pro controller, like wireless, is better than wired for latency by a lot. Not even close. The Bluetooth is better than whatever the hell controller or system that they have. So don't plug your controller in. If you're not on the PC, just don't do it. It's bad. Anyway, I didn't even know they threw things. I always blow that thing up fast, but yeah. Apparently this boss throws garbage. I don't like to reuse content for this, especially 2 years in a row. So if X2 is here next year, not only will the challenge be easier, it won't be the same one. More likely, I just won't use X2 next year. And when I do use it again, it won't be that. I think Link to the Past is in here again, and it's not the archery challenge.
Another host choice. Sound test. Yeah, let's do it. It's time for a sound test. We're going to need you to tell us what console it's on. Yeah, play it again. Keep on with this. We're gonna play you a song.
You know what I think I'm gonna do? I was thinking about putting 3 host choice on the wheel instead of 2. I think I'm gonna put a player choice on the wheel. Let them pick what kind of event they want to do. I think there's too many team battles, probably.
Of song, let me tell you. It's a bit slow. It's fine, but we'll get there.
It's the way you move.
It's coming, hold on. 2 seconds.
I hear Click Cat laughing at me.
The name of the song is The Way You Move. I'll give you that for free. You may have even heard the remix.
This song is telling you who made it and half of the name of the game in the song. I had to check to make sure it didn't go Killer Instinct like it does on the title screen of this song.
Absolutely incredible soundtrack. Both the original and the remix. If you've never heard it, go give it a listen. DJ Combo's theme is a classic that's running around one.
That was enough.
Come on up, Dales. One mic for everybody left. Give me your best one. Please spin that time into
This is drawback.
Robin.
Yeah, I tried to say it, but we probably need to do a better job announcing that at the end of the show, we pack up and we get out of the room. I'm happy to say hello to people, but we can't do it in here.
Something like Mario eating some carbonara.
And by the time I got back with my stuff, it seemed like everybody cleared out. I saw a bunch of people in the halls with my art, so I knew they were in my panel. But I only talked to like Kyon and I think Killer Cactus was talking with Wobbly, met them. And I talked with Maniacal Gamer and a couple other people. Akami. But not a lot of people got to meet me this year. Really, I feel like I was not present for most of this. I was just in my hotel or in the arcade. I was just not around.
Because Doc has been going. Okay. If we can get the, yeah, we're gonna need camera on the.
I say on my Discord where I'm at sometimes, but that doesn't seem to do much good.
We have Mega Man that regrettably does not have yellow markers. Alright. And we're going to be having a fresh drawing here from Doc. We're just going to need you to tell us what this is supposed to be. This is going to be timed audience.
We just ran our stuff to the car afterwards instead of hanging out with all our loot.
No peeking just because I don't want you to know why. You get your guess just like everybody else. Oh, no, you
I was with my partners, arcade time and hotel, and just work. Yeah,
Alright, the drawing is already underway.
it's drawbish time.
We just need you to tell us what this drawing is of.
Oh, that's good.
Folks in the audience,
I don't know if anybody wanted to talk to me or not, but I'm easy to get a hold of on Discord. I created a thread for MAGFest, and I'll probably be more clear about that next year. For people who are in my Discord and want to talk, find out what I'm doing, I probably will post in there when I'm doing something. Especially for this, I'm gonna find a place for group to go after the show.
It's close. They are an Alaskan sled dog.
And yeah, I was running a bunch of errands at MAGFest too. I was trying to get my shirt that I got with my badge. I was trying to get my tournament set up. I failed. I was trying to meet people who were speedrunning. I failed. Like I saw Ryudo and Flannel Cat do a run. I saw Titaraj do a run. I couldn't talk to any of those people because they, just like me, they disappear after their panel's over.
you should. Right now, we're going to need our next contestant up here to spin that wheel.
Here's the last 20 minutes.
It's time to spin the wheel and get your next category for a point. Go ahead, give it a spin. That's another multiple choice.
Let's do street track.
By the way, no!
Since we were like Saturday night, midnight, I probably could have just said, see you in panel 6 or something. I bet there was an empty room we could have all gone to say hello, hang out, play some Killer Queen on Switches. I brought it. I didn't get to play it. I have the physical copies of Killer Queen Black. The only way you can play it on the Switch now. You can still play it on Steam with some hacks on a custom server, but if you have the physical disc of Killer Queen Black, you can play it on LAN. You can have 2 carts, 2 switches, 4 players each team. I was hoping to do that. Didn't get to do it anywhere. I'm planning to do a lot more stuff than just Arcade Pit next year. I'm probably gonna do a shuffler run on MAGFest if they let me. If not a Rogue Legacy speedrun. I'm sure they'll put that in at least, right? Maybe. I'm gonna host a tournament or 2. And I'm definitely gonna do this panel again. As long as all of that is as long as they want it all, I'll do it. I want to do a Quibble race tournament. I was trying to figure out how I could do that online on here. I think it'll be less interesting online because of the nature of how it works. The nature of how it works is one player goes while the other 2 look away from the screen, and then they go. And so for me to stream it, I need them to not be able to look at the stream, and yet I need to show people what's going on, and I'll just have to run it on a delay and have each one of them have their own feed. It will be a mess compared to just what a tournament in person would be. I've done Killer Queen here as a team battle. I did it last year. It wasn't great. It didn't work very well. Some things just don't work as well as you think they will. That's one of them. I thought it would work better.
Yeah, there are a couple of big stakes. The second one, specifically. Everybody, let's hear it for Mega Man 3!
Especially Killer Queen Black, which is what I have, is even more complicated. You have the queens running around, the AI is killing them, and they're losing because of that. Like, it's just weird to pick up. So not only are they dealing with projector lag here, which is probably why they lost, they're also making some errors that are costing them enough time that it is why they lost. I don't feel like this one is too tight. I feel like this challenge is actually fine. Like, they're doing okay, and they probably should have won. But yeah, the biggest mistake they make by far is using the rush coil at all for any of this. That menuing, switching to rush, using it, switching back, 20 seconds. Like, just 20 seconds, right there. And that they didn't, this was really weird too. So here's the biggest mistake of all. First of all, you don't need rush here either. You can just jump straight up. And then they didn't grab the other life that they were even closer to, which is really strange because if they did, they could have barreled through. They probably are like pressured and, you know, still in the rush. But that would let them take damage, save time, bust right through this sucker. They could just not kill anything else the whole time and just go. Between that and using rush twice, they're gonna end up like right in front of the exit of the challenge, just not making it. Sliding is faster than walking. It is the Mega Man run almost, and Mega Man Classic is obviously faster. So you want to do that as much as you can. Yeah, that's the other thing. They didn't really need to switch Rush off. If you did use Rush, you could just keep him out. It's fine. He shows up, he eats one shot, and then he's there. You can just shoot. So you don't even need to switch off him. They were super close. The big snake was up the ladder. Would have taken 6 hits or something like that. Damn near had it. I feel like 2 minutes is not... The X2 challenge, that wasn't enough time, but this one, I feel like in 2 minutes I could beat the whole stage. There's a lot of time there, I think.
Shining Silver.
That was Tails Farraga, and this is Shining Silver. So 6 players. I hope they had a good time. Usually we have more people up. Even with somebody running 10 points, we usually have more people up. So I think there was just longer challenges this time. I'm not unhappy with the pace of everything though. We might be able to, I don't know if everybody wants to, but we might be able to get a 2-hour show next time if we ask for it. I don't know what my co-host would be. They're doing more than me in terms of energy. 90 minutes is pretty clutch. An hour is just not enough. I've only ever asked for 90 minutes. This one felt like it went by really fast. Caveman Games has been selected. Caveman Games is dumb, but this fighting game in it, I like a lot. I keep going back to footsies, but honestly, this is similar to the energy of Urban Champion as well. It's actually the best thing in this stupid game, which is normally a button-mashing track and field mess. They're not currently using the mechanic, but there's an intimidation phase where you press a bunch of buttons and make the other player back up more and you get an advantage. There's an edge on the field there right now, they just use the mechanic to make them look the other way so you can get a hit on them. They have this soft attack that makes them dizzy. It cancels that big hit. I don't know why they're not attacking anymore because it would work. But unfortunately, they're getting blasted instead by the big damage, which is really meant to be a thing you do far away. You can also duck and attack, and it makes them back up. You hit them twice in the feet, and they get their attack canceled and they back up. Very lethal move. Maybe the most lethal thing you can do. Nobody did that. So those are the mechanics of this thing. All of which are like beyond the grasp of sensible, and you can't really figure them out on the fly. Most people figure out how to do that thwomping attack though, and usually club the other player real bad. If you do shove the other player to the edge, they will instantly lose, of course. Yeah. I don't know what the stats mean in this game, but Vincent is the worst one. He's bad at everything. I don't know if they actually are, if they do less damage, if they run slower, that might be the case. I think there's 2 things left to play here.
Getting the wrong contestants winning ain't nice thing. All right, host choice. What are you feeling like, Smite?
Say toss across. Before it's too late.
It's time to do some toss across. We're going to have you compete in good old games. Everybody come on.
So here's toss across. The rules of toss across are as follows. The player who throws first is trying to get 3 X's. They alternate throws. The other player is trying to get 3 O's. It doesn't matter how it happens. If 3 O's occur, player 2 wins. So I got confused about who was winning this. I'm not sure why we said the other player won, but it doesn't really matter to me in the end. They had a lot of trouble hitting these. I think they weren't throwing it high enough. You kind of have to lob them in there. Or slam them, either way.
First throw is looking for X. Second
Part of the pain of this as a player is that if your X's and you flip your X into an O, tough shit. I thought this would be a good fit. I'm not sure in retrospect that it was as good as I thought it would be. It went alright though. I think we could have used the cars though, based on the camera currently going on. We have these cool little bumper cars, RC cars, that are just awesome. It might have been a mess. I was kind of looking forward to using them though, but didn't seem like we should. I have a couple other things in my bag that I'm not saying what they are. See them next year. I completely forgot about them. They're ridiculous and awesome. I'm saving them. I don't think anybody but me knows what they are, so top secret. Alright, so that is game. Again, kind of regardless of who did it, player 2 wins. And I already typed the score in, so I had to go back and fix it when there was disagreement about it, but don't want to hang up on anything like that while you're running this show, so we just rolled forward. I do have the ability to undo, thankfully, so. Let me look at this thing you're linking here.
I'm sorry if your board game works backwards. Now, listen, man, if you come
That version looks better than mine. Does it stickers? I don't know. The one I have is a modern version. It's pretty damn easy to switch around, though. It does, it snaps in kind of loosely. It's really easy to switch it 2 or 3 of them at once, honestly.
Tell me what these games are.
don't help them, it's just for them. Oh. What is this game?
I did have a tiny Cubert arcade cabinet, but unfortunately, yeah, the batteries in it were corroded before I even got to try it.
Stay a while, stay forever.
It's not all.
I like the way that this thing you linked is labeled, though. I might do that myself with markers. Make it clear which side is X and which side is O.
10 seconds.
You recognize that robot.
Something
Son of the Android! Last one for a bonus point. What is it?
King's Quest,
Not King's Quest.
I just have the Cubert machine up as like a
That's 2, you get the point. You're still on the board.
decoration. I tried to clean it, didn't work out. The springs are completely rusted out. It's a mess.
Go ahead, come on up and spin. That was a single player challenge. The other player gets to spin. Give it a spin.
But yo, shout out to our players. I appreciate everybody who came up. I hope they had a good time, got some art. Most of the people in the crowd should have gotten art. We almost ran out, I feel like. Well, we didn't run out, so there was some extra art around in case anybody wanted it.
Oh, Doc's already started drawing this challenge.
without knowledge. This is completely
We have some more cool examples if anyone would like to see.
I wonder if we should give the people who guessed the drawbridge prompt the art instead of randomly handing it out. Maybe they would want some of this art. The art that they won, so to speak.
And of course, a very unreasonably
Thanks for the subs, by the way.
Now this is your drawing. It's pre-drawn. He's already working on it. So what is going on here? Give us your guesses. Tell us what's happening in this image.
It was Buff Toad, and I think the other one was Old Man Sonic saying, life comes at you fast. Something like that. It was hard to see. I didn't get a close look at it. This one is like already done, so just had to draw a marshmallow stick. I gave Doc the actual drawing prompts, not the ones that he drew on the way up.
Oh no! Who could it possibly be? Who would hang out by fires?
It just happened to have a Dark Soul prompt in the OBS window while they were working on a Dark Souls guy, so it just turned on. Just a coincidence of, hey, that's already done.
Audience, who is this? The chosen undead! Yeah, the chosen undead, aka John Dark Souls.
I don't have a great way to end the panel. We just say we out of time, we're wrapping it up. We don't have like a final battle kind of thing. This time we did. Emily coming up with it on the fly, really. Just felt like doing it. And it is a very nice way to end things, honestly. And I do feel like it actually, just by pure intensity, how close the match was, turned out to be a really interesting way to do it. It's 90 seconds left. I wonder if this recording got the whole thing. That seems like a small amount of time. Maybe we don't have the whole thing here. But yeah, if you want to see the whole thing, Author Blues has it on their channel. Yeah, there's no way that this video catches this game. I only have 30 seconds left. But anyway, they play Bushido. They get to 7 points each. It's 2-8. I told them the rules on how to charge and throw extra projectiles and stuff. They figured it out on like score point 6 that they can do those things. So at the end, they started really blasting the ball out of nowhere. Almost... Either player almost won. Emily took it by 1 point. But yeah, it doesn't look like I have footage of that. At least not ready to go. We have other videos, I guess, but I don't have it ready to go. It is on Author Blues channel, though. Yep, that's all I've got. Camera probably ran out of steam or something. Got most of it, though. I mean, if you have it ready, I'll click it. Let's do it. Test Your Smite is a, it's not meant to be a good event for the player. The audience might like it, but having Emily do it is probably better. I made these challenges. Even if I'm not good at the game, I'm good at the challenge. I tested it. It's not fair. I don't think it fits the panel energy as well as it fits the online energy. Where you have two people choosing a game they're good at. It's not really what's happening here. Let me grab this real quick. Alright, I have Clear Cattle's video. I don't think either player has played this before. I'm going by the fact that they're not using their bar. And Emily said as much. But there's a caltrop on the field. And they can lob the ball and all these other moves that add some real finesse to this. It's perfectly fine the way they're playing it, though. They also have a roll that they do know about that lets them warp around a little bit. And the roll is different per character. Honestly, all the characters are pretty different. One of them is really slow but can block in 3 directions. And their special moves are radically different.
The players have found a new mechanic.
Here they had to mash to stop the ball that they got super dodgeballed into them. 7-7, final point. Oh, and then they missed their super for the loss. Somebody threw a can or something. Oh, I could do this bit. I reserve my dumbass energy for offline usually. It was good work though. Co-host did a great job on these.